gonna be another head coach in New York City if they lose this series. Several players are gonna be gone from New York City. Y'all lose this game. Y'all go ahead and lose this game. Y'all go ahead and lose this series, New York Knicks. You're just a bunch of sorry asses right now. I'm so sick of what I'm seeing right now. I'm losing my damn mind.
All right, so it is time to stop pretending like the Knicks are not going to cakewalk their way all the way to the NBA Finals, because what they've been doing in the last 6 consecutive games have been remarkable from the New York Knicks. They just literally swept the Sixers, who just came back from a 3-1 deficit against Boston, who we all thought that is going to go all the way in this conference, and the Knicks just swept them like it was just nothing. After this game, I'm really starting to think that New York not only can win the East, but they have a legit chance to go on and win a championship this year. After that embarrassing loss against the Hawks this game 3, they have turned it up a notch, and they have been on a mission where they were just sweeping everyone that comes to their way. So in this video, I'm finna explain why, like I said, you should not only stop pretending that the New York Knicks aren't winning the East, but they have a chance to beat OKC or San Antonio or hell, Minnesota in the NBA Finals. But first, A-Man, say man. This is the A-Man Show, back at it again for more content. Make sure y'all subscribe. I post NBA content, but goes to hit 1,000 subs by the end of the year. So subscribing, smashing the like button, and turning on post notifications makes a big difference. So that out of the way, stay tuned and enjoy the video. So the New York Knicks, since game 3, they have been on a 7-game winning streak, including the sweep against the Philadelphia 76ers, where they have blew them out in their home floor by 40 points, and they looked unbeatable. In the clip I just showed y'all earlier in this video of how Stephen A was just going ballistic on y'all, yeah, that shit worked. The New York Knicks offense have reached a new gear. After struggling with late game execution in the middle of the Hawks series, they've ended that round with one of the most lopsided victories in NBA history. They closed out the Atlanta Hawks in game 6 with a 140-89 win, a massive 51-point margin on the road, which makes it the second largest point differential win in playoff history. Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns has really established themselves as the best 1-2 punch in the NBA. Jalen Brunson continues to prove why he's rightfully a top 5 player in the NBA. You can argue with the likes of an Anthony Edwards or a Luka Doncic, but even that, Luka hasn't played in this playoffs to prove why he's among the top 5 players in the NBA. Meanwhile, Brunson has progressed even further why he is like that. During that 7-game streak, he's averaged 27 points, 2 rebounds, and 6 assists while shooting damn near 50-40-90 splits during that stretch. I mean, what he is doing on the offensive end, being able to be a legit threat from all 3 levels, and not just that, from the mid-range, he's shooting 46% from the mid-range area, which ranks him near the top of all high-volume guards, and from there, he's shooting 41% from 3 on that area on nearly 7 attempts. He has been extremely sensational, especially from the clutch, where he's averaging 6 points per game in the clutch, which leads the NBA, by the way, while shooting 52%. If we look at his numbers in the playoffs in the last couple of seasons, this is what he averages in the regular season, and this is where he averages in the playoffs. And get this, despite him averaging damn near 30 points per game, he shot a combined 57% true shooting during that last 3 years. Brunson is currently averaging exactly 30 points per game over a 41-game playoff stretch as a Knick. For perspective, only a handful of players in NBA history, which is Jordan, Elgin Baylor, and Jerry West, have maintained a 30-point per game average or over that many consecutive playoff games, and his field goal percentage has climbed up from a 44% to a 48% shooting, and his 3-point shooting has nearly jumped 10% since 2024. If Jalen Brunson wins a title for New York, or at least make it to the finals, we're going to have that conversation of him going down as the greatest player in this franchise history. No other player has maintained that level of scoring over multiple deep runs as Brunson did in 3 years. Patrick Ewing kept the Knicks relevant for 15 years, but he inherited a team that won titles at a decade prior. Brunson inherited a broken franchise and in 3 years has led them to 2 consecutive Eastern Conference Finals appearances, the first 4-0 sweep of a major rival in the 76ers in decades, and he's very likely is going to lead the Knicks to not only a finals appearance, but a championship, and even with Ewing having a finals appearance. Throughout his playoff career, he never had the clutch gene compared to Brunson, and in matter of fact, Patrick Ewing have been known as one of the biggest chokers in playoff history. The only 2 guys that are in front of him is really Willis Reed and Walt Frazier, and that because they won a championship in one of the more iconic finals matchups in NBA history during the early 70s. If Brunson leads this Knicks team to a championship, especially against a likely Thunder team that has an all-time great in SGA paired with one of the most deepest teams in NBA history, and he finds a way and beats them, then he certainly should be considered as the best player in franchise history. It's very likely that it will happen with the Knicks, specifically Jalen Brunson. Now, as for the other guys on the roster, like Cap, even though he may not be as offensively dominant scoring wise like he was last year, but he doesn't need to be, because Mike Brown implementing him as in a Jokic type role where he pretty much sets up the motion offense for the Knicks, and that has really opened up the game for everyone on that Knicks team, most especially OG Anunoby and of course Jalen Brunson, in which I will talk about later. But going back to Karl, during that 7-0 stretch, he averaged 17 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists, including in multiple games of him dishing out 10 or more assists, along with 2 triple-doubles, along with 2 blocks per game, while shooting nearly 50-40-90 splits. Cat, as a distributor, has really opened out everything for this Knicks offense. Jalen Brunson doesn't have to be the most targeted guy on offense for opposing defenses, because now you have multiple guys that are dressed from the outside and can do their damage in the mid-range into the rim, because Cat is now able to consistently make reads for guys to do their thing, and also it has made him a lot more efficient as a scorer, despite him not putting up 25 or more points per game like last year. And on the defensive end, he has been very clutch as well on that end too, averaging a block per game in the last 5 minutes. And teams are so afraid of his 40% shooting from 3 that he is drawing double teams at the top of the key, which he is immediately turning into assists for Brunson or Mikal Bridges. And OG Anunoby, man, he has proven he is a legit two-way player in the NBA. Even though he didn't play in Game 3, in the full 5 games of him playing, he's averaged 22 points per game, 7 rebounds along with 2 steals, shooting 48% from 3. Mikal Bridges, especially in this Sixers series, averaged 19 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, while shooting an insane 64% from the field and 46% from 3. Josh Hart has been the ultimate Swiss Army knife of averages of 11 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists per game, while giving you stifling defense. Also, Deuce McBride has been playing like a legit 6-man. During the playoffs, he's giving you 11 points per game while being hyper efficient from the field, also from 3. And the other guys on the bench, such as Mitchell Robinson, being that bruising center that New York needed, with averages of 6 rebounds and a block per game on 14 minutes per game. Jordan Clarkson has been a spark plug for them with his plus 12 minus impact. Landry Shamet has been a very lethal shooter for the bench. As a whole, the Knicks currently have the best offensive rating in the NBA during the playoffs, along with the highest effective field goal percentage. They average 122 points per game, and on defense, they're currently holding teams to under 100 points while holding them to just 46% from the field, and they have held opponents to under 100 points 3 times this postseason. Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby continue to prove why they are the best defensive wing duo in the NBA, and Cat rim protection has stepped up, and Mitchell Robinson have been rolling alongside with him. The Knicks has transformed into a historical juggernaut during their current 7-game winning streak, fueled by their 127.7 offensive rating that leads the postseason. This scoring explosion is defined by elite spacing and the evolution of Karl Anthony Towns into a high post playmaker, averaging 7 assists during that streak. By recognizing the 3-point line and simplified by their playoff record 11 first quarter threes in this series clincher against Philly, they're forced defenses to pick between guarding Jalen Brunson's mid-range game or leaving snipers like Mikal Bridges and Miles McBride wide open. This Warriors-style ball movement, resulting in 25 assists per game, has made their offense mathematically impossible to contain. While on defense, they have choked the life out of opposing stars and or teams this postseason. Guys, I've never imagined the Knicks being this good in my lifetime. This might be the most talented team the Knicks have ever assembled, like in their franchise history. And now you have a coach that is putting this team over the top, unlike what the last coach did, is a very possible outcome. could hoist the Larry O'Brien trophy. And if I were OKC, San Antonio should not be the only team you should be very concerned with, because out there in New York, they're not slouches. I personally don't think that any team in the East is going to beat New York. I mean, Detroit can do a little something, but like I said in my many videos, they don't have the offense to keep up with New York. Or in Cleveland, let's leave Cleveland off the picture now. So, in conclusion, the Knicks are officially one of the teams to beat in this postseason. They have been historically dominant so far during that stretch, and don't be surprised if New York ends up beating either OKC, San Antonio, or hell, Minnesota somehow for the championship. And that's the end of the video. Let me know y'all's thoughts on this video. Can New York go all the way and win their third title in franchise history? Let me know, and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more NBA content, and smash the like button if you enjoyed this video, and turn on post notifications. And that is all. Stay litty. This is the A-Man Show. Sign out.